Hello, comrades. It's Premier River, and I am back again, once again looking at the city of Rivergrad. And we finally have our shopping center. It's been quite a few episodes since we built it, but there it is. I wanted to go to that second, but I just got done building the road cargo area that's going to be for our meat packing plant. And I just wanted to talk about, let me pause time just so I don't worry about things happening. One of the ways to find the vehicles is to search the map for them, right? So this truck is going to the gateway of meat storage, right? And that's fine, but obviously finding the other refrigerated trucks might be a little bit difficult because they're not here. Now, at the same time, I'm not particularly worried about these because there's another one. Okay, so this guy's going up to the other menu button. I guess I should probably rename that one day. Menu button meat storage. And I'm kind of okay with that, except I don't want this guy going to here anymore. What I'm thinking of is I'll have the guys that are coming from Rivergrad with the food just drop off here and go back. And even if they're full, they're just going to top this guy up and then move on for now. If that gets to be too wasteful of fuel, we'll worry about that later. I don't think that's going to be a problem, at least not to start out. So this guy, let's go ahead and add another stop to him and have him come in here. And right now my problem is with just one space in this, more or less. I didn't want all these guys waiting here, so we can then take away this one. And then, yep, it's on load. You always want to check because sometimes it does it backwards, of course. And now, what am I doing? No, that's it. Oh, wait. I want to make him wait. There you go. So we don't want him to wait where he's dropping off because it'll clog up the works eventually. There we go. So I see another little meat truck, which is kind of convenient. So this guy is going to the storage. We might even be able to intercept him and watch him working. So let's add another stop. So all the ones that are coming in to pick up, let's delete that stop, and he should, when time starts again, and we're going to get him to wait here. So this way we can get 4 trucks waiting if needed without causing, well, we can even probably have a couple other trucks waiting without causing too much of a traffic jam. So now that's the 2 that we found relatively easily, right? Where does this guy go? Gateway Love. So he's just right over here to the grocery store. But there should be other meat trucks. Yeah, of course it's going to be easy to find them all when I'm trying to make okay, oh, no, this guy, wait a minute. Okay, he's going to the meat storage to drop off. Didn't I see another one? Yeah, this is another guy. He's going to the shopping center over there. So this is another guy that we want to add another stop. See, as soon as you want to make an example of something, you easily find everything you want. So this, again, switch to here. And then there's, yeah, of course they're all right there. This guy's another one dropping off. So again, I'm fine with them going right to this meat storage. But let's say we didn't know where they all were. And I don't think we do, because there is another truck that's should be going to Energinisk. So we're going to come over here and hit refrigerated and leave it on this lowest filter. And first of all, we can read where they're going. So Gateway Love Meat Storage. Yep, this is one of the ones that's going from down there. We could also tell from the type of truck. Didn't we buy a smaller truck? This guy's meat button. There's the guy that we just fixed, shopping center. And there should be one going to the... Did I not set that up? See, as we get closer or further, we can tell. See, there should be another one, I think, going to the grocery store. Well, let's just open them all up. There it is. See, so this is what I've found to be kind of the easiest way to find them if you can't find them as easily as we did all the rest. And see, this is another one that we want to change to go to here. So there you go. I really didn't want to necessarily even spend that much time on it, but I thought I'd show you guys. Now this guy doesn't have any meat, so again, we can get him to wait. Let's switch to stop he's going to. See, and that's part of the problem. See, we caught that guy going to the grocery store without any meat in him because he couldn't sit there and wait, and yet there wasn't any meat. So there's one more truck. Now, if we couldn't, you know, you can kind of keep an eye on which ones are on this list, but you could do like all map and then look for one that's, you know, further up over that way. It's another little one, so it's going to be like one of these. See, that's Colas, Gateway. What does this one say? Oh, this little guy. Yep, so there's the other one. He's the one we just changed. There you go, this guy. So, and again, we're not going to change him because he's just up there doing his thing. And I don't want him waiting because he'll clog up the works too. There we go. So we have, I think, a fairly well situated where everybody should be coming into here now if they're waiting for meat. And we don't have any meat there at this moment, which led me to come back down to here and see what was holding us up. And what's holding us up is this livestock. You know, we would produce more if we produced more livestock. And so therefore we have the crops here. We got plenty of crops. So what I would like to do is the bus that comes in and out of here is coming from this small bus platform 2, which is this bus platform, and which is getting people from this general area. So I'm building a road with the intention of putting in a few more houses down in this area. They should have everything they need close enough, I think. So we shouldn't have to add any other infrastructure. Now, this. We want to get this guy into the works, kind of as we destroy these, right? So what do we have here? This is our liquor delivery guy, which won't necessarily be affected. Though we will, yeah, because see, we're going to destroy this small store. We're going to destroy this grocery store so that we can sit trucks waiting to fill these shopping centers up. These shopping centers don't have a big enough storage, which if you watched my modding video, I bet you could go in there and I would bet money that you could up that amount of storage. Not a lot of money, but yeah. There's another refrigerated truck that we didn't look at, but yeah, this is just the local one. So I have no problem with him going down there, waiting, and then delivering wherever he needs to. Why is he going up to... No, we don't want him going here. Good. Glad I noticed that. What I am looking for, though, is our food truck, which is definitely going to be a little harder to find down here, but it should be a covered truck. There's not too many covered trucks, I don't think, down here. Well, there's going to be a lot over by the farm there, but him? No, that's the guy. Let's see, how is he doing? Yeah, he's the guy that is going to take the excess, if we ever have some, over to the clothing. Yeah, I need to find the guy that's supposed to be over here delivering food to these guys. Or do we even have one? Yeah, no, we definitely have one. Oh, there he is. He's hiding in there. So we don't want him to go to this grocery store here. This is the grocery store number 1. So let's insert that I want you to take things to here now. And we're going to delete that stop. And we'll add, or we'll just take off these things, as is my usual. Perfect. So now he's going to go to the shopping center. Now there should be... Now this stuff, I think... Well, the clothing guy. Yeah, we need to change the clothing guy, which will be this clothing guy. And he will no longer go to... I think it's just the Revergrad small store, yeah. So he, instead of going here, he's going to go to here. And we want him to unload. Close. And you don't need to go to here, which won't exist. I probably don't even need to delete that. I bet you it'll just go away after I... Alright, so what else do we have? We have a meat guy that's coming into here, right? Oh, we already found him. Did we change him? He was just right there, wherever the heck I was. Yeah, see, he's going to the grocery store number 1. Let's switch him over. Spending a lot more time. Probably should have done this off camera. Delete that guy out. There you go. And unload anything's the only choice you really have. So there you go. So he's now going to the shopping center. Now eventually when we build our thing here, we'll have to change that over, but at least in the meantime, you know, we're not going to have a problem. Alright, so let's delete some buildings. I don't think I've deleted many buildings, to be honest, which is good because they cost money. So I guess we just lose the food, I suppose. But what else are you going to do? Delete that guy. And then let's delete some roads and whatnot. Probably should delete that. And this. Very carefully. Looking straight down, you tend not to blow up too many things that you don't want to blow up. So now let's just play it until those things go away. Hopefully, I don't think people should become too unhappy. Speaking of which, you should probably come in here. Buying American, I think, will definitely be better here. And just sort of give them... I wish you could really set that to lower amounts, but we'll just set them to the minimum so that we don't want these guys running out. And at least now, while we're in our construction, we'll be, we'll have what we need. So, good. Before, like, the routes get reset up. Okay, so now we want to come to here and we're going to try to put in a road cargo station, which most certain will work. Though I need to delete that and that. So I kind of want to put this guy further down this way a little bit because I need to get a road in. Hopefully that will work for this. Yes. Alright, so now we need to get a road in, which I want to delete that back a little bit. So we'll make it an asphalt road. Can I go? Let's say that. Good, that guy will attach. No, too short. How about if I go the other way? Give me that little green. There you go. Now let's delete. It didn't look like it should have deleted that, did it? But I don't think that's going to work. Alright, let's start over. The deleting is not the most accurate thing. Alright, so let's see. Can we get it? Maybe even do a little better this time. Why did I build that? Here we go. So that's connected. No, you don't like that. You don't like that. Can I get my little green? No. Pretty finicky, huh? There we go. Maybe that'll help. I don't like that. So now let's see, can I just, not the world's most pretty thing, but let's set that into motion, or at least possibility of motion, and there we go. So now we can come over here and set this guy to working on, I'm just going to set him to work on both things. They both need to work eventually. What's he work? Oh, he's working on this road over here. All right. Well, he'll be busy with working on roads for a while, which is fine. And our next topic, the railroad that I put in. So I built this road up here just for, I don't know, it seemed like the right thing to do to have a road heading down towards this. I don't know if we're ever going to build up and over that way, but at least it kind of set a borderline for what we want to do. So what I did between the episodes, and you can see I left it white, is just pretty much paralleled this road. I figured that wasn't going to be the most exciting thing. It was more terraforming than anything else. But what I also did, just to mention everything I did, is I took this as far as I could before I couldn't excavate anymore. You know, I couldn't level the terrain because I didn't have an excavator. And ended up putting in a power switch, which isn't even installed yet, and a cargo and a gas station. I figure this is off the road, which isn't perfect, but it's fine. You know, like it'll be real close to our construction area. So we'll get all this built. And what that'll let us do, probably by the end of the episode, is continue the railroad tracks all the way up to Molna, I hope. I think I'll be able to level that far from this guy. We'll find out. But I'd also like to put in a railroad station here for Lumbriska. So we'll set up probably lumber mills up in the mountains, so to speak, like up on this side. And then we'll have a town maybe down here somewhere, not too close to the water, but you know, wherever we can level it out sort of nicely based on the road. And, you know, have people maybe bust up to the different places. But, you know, I kind of kept the railroad, even if I could have leveled more, I'm not sure that I would have until we came back on camera. But I'm picturing, you know, like somehow right down in here is like a cargo center where we can pick up the boards. And probably maybe even wood, but I don't think there's any real use for wood. So I don't see us shipping wood into this area. You don't need a lot of boards. So, but we will make sure that we can get this railroad track to Molna or the other place. If we ever want to export lumber, we can. But I don't picture us having a huge lumber thing. I think our board is probably not even worth the effort, to be honest. But I do want to say one day that we're self-sufficient. So there we go. We'll have a railroad track. Oh, something else. Oh, here. Let me do this. Let me just commit to all of that before I mess something up. There we go. All right, I held off so you guys could easily see the white. But I also want to do something else now that we have a few bucks coming in. I don't want to jump the gun too much until I get that power line going. Let's get the bigger, more powerful guy here. All right, close your eyes on how much our money went down. But it's been going up pretty steady. So we now have this, which means I think we can... Well, which one should we work on next? I don't know. It doesn't... Well, you know what? It really doesn't make much difference, does it? We're going to get both done anyway. So let's work on this one. Because why not? It's all got to get done before it's anything that's going to go to Rever. The biggest thing I'm thinking going to Revergrad right now is corn. So if we can get some of that excess corn down to here, down to this area, we can get it into our clothing industry. So I don't think I'm going to move this clothing industry because if it was a little more jammed in, maybe I would, but Revergrad's a pretty decent sized city and we can expand it a little bit more if we want a few more people to come over here and work. And one of the things I was thinking of is we have our gravel loading station, and I think it would be real nice to take advantage of this. So in order to do that, we would want an aggregate unloading. Now, I think the other thing to say is I don't think blocking this asphalt plant is going to be that big a deal. I don't seem to have any trouble just, you don't use that much bitumen, to be honest. It's just not something that's a huge use. I want to try to get this as close here. So in other words, I'm not too worried about blocking it, but we'll see. Let's see. Can I get from there? Can we get a conveyor? Yes, without even blocking the road. Wonderful. All right, we'll commit to the conveyor right away. So there we go. So now we have a place, and that wasn't unloading, right? Yep. So we can bring our gravel trains from Camine and bring them into here. Now, the other thing we're definitely going to want to do is be able to bring corn into here and whatever else. We might end up talking about fabric, or not fabric, but clothes. You know, right now all of our clothes pretty much are going right into our trucks and then out that way. So they're not even making it into the warehouse. But maybe one day we'll have big enough clothing that will, and who knows, we might want to send clothing up to Molna, right? All right, so that will need a cargo train station. And such a train station should attach to, well, it would be good if it could attach to both of these, huh? All right, because then I could take corn and it will go directly into the, and if we ever had chemicals, can this thing handle chemicals? Yes. So if we ever had chemicals, we could theoretically bring them in here as well. There we go. So let's, all right, this one should attach. Yep. As long as it wasn't too long. So that should give us the ability to bring corn down to here, like I said, and then we might even be able to take clothing back out if we ever decide to cut those trucks off, though I'm not sure. Well, again, I think the biggest reason we would do that is we would park a clothing train that we would then export the train by train up to that Molna maybe. But again, we're not really making enough clothes right now to worry about that. But again, I want to bring the corn down here, which will help us make more clothes. Okay, so now we got to get a railroad track from there around to here and connect these two up. The other thing, and I'm not sure how I would do it, but I'd probably just put it down here, would be the medium size, which I always look at as like the larger size of these yards. But I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. You know, just not right this minute. Maybe later on we'll add in a couple other yards, and I think I would do it down here, but let's see how everything else works out. So this guy we need to get across the road. Hopefully that, I'm a little bit worried about that. Oh, that's not too bad. Not bad at all, really. Now, I don't see any reason why we would need that many gravel things coming down here. So really probably didn't even need these two. Well, you know what, as a matter of fact, let's see if we can't. Yeah, see, I hate when that. Yeah, I'm just going to destroy that hole. Let's re-put our road in real quick. Not that we're even. No, we will use it, won't we? Let's do this. Yeah, now I made an end of the road where I didn't really. Oh, that's a little better. There we go. All right, let's just bring one of these out here. We can always add another one later on. There's absolutely. I don't really. Wouldn't now what? Oh, because I made an end of the road. Yeah, we're gonna do it right. So in other words, when you have the road sections broken up, you can't, there's like these little nodes in between that you then can't connect anymore. So or wouldn't let me cross because it sensed the end of a road that really wasn't the end of the road. All right, so there we go. So that's that at least out past there. And then this guy, let's do it this way. So this guy will sort of, now again, same thing here. You know what, I'm going to need to go a bit longer. Can I get that guy? Yeah. So that way we can use both tracks, but I don't see a lot of traffic with this. You know, if there's too many trains there, at least we can get two in there and not to have them clogging up the tracks, but that could cause a problem in the future, potentially. Probably should put all my put on our wireframe. I don't really want... Ooh. Let me do the inside track first. There we go. Now, the other thing is, once we get past a certain point here, well, no, I guess we could, why don't we just have, well, yeah, we can make a crisscrossy thing. What I'm thinking of is, oh, you know what, if we bring, let's do this too. Let's just bring out, just to make sure it works, because we might bring a road out this way. So that way we're not going at a bad angle that we can't in the future. Oh, that. That seems fine. Yeah, we don't have to build all of this stuff right away. So let's come out this way. Keep this one as close to there, so that way we can bring out all three, hopefully without even, I don't know if it matters, but. There we go. Like I said, if we want, we can just put a crisscrossy thing in, and then that way we get right into there with as many trains. And so the last thing to do is set up our gravel. Again, we're just going to have one track. You know what, that's actually, yeah, come out a little bit straighter. I wish there was a little bit of a radius kind of tool. You know what, I'm going to come out a little bit straighter. It really just wants to be like, anyway, that's fine. All right, so that should give us some space to put like hopefully like another, well, no, we couldn't put another train there because it would get clogged up. Never mind. Whatever. I don't picture that many gravel trains, to be quite honest with you. It'll just be nice to be able to put one down there, and probably be one train will probably be a lifetime supply. This is probably not the most efficient use of our moolah as it is, right? Thank you, Safe. All right, there we go. I think we have kind of everything we need down here, right? I mean, we could talk about shipping meat, but again, we don't make so much meat, and I would probably try to, I don't know, maybe get rid of a field and bring, you know, if we were going to bring crops or meat from here, I'd probably get rid of that field right there. And I just see this coal as too boxed in. I mean, it was great to get us started, but I just don't see anything going on with that coal. All right, so there you go. So let me pause the video, and I will come back when some things are built, namely up here. Once I get these built, then we can start laying out the rest of our railroad tracks. How's that sound? All right, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Okay, we got our construction office. I wanted to mention something. Don't build a gas station unless you have power to it, because otherwise the trucks or whatever other vehicles will go there and they can't get gas because it doesn't have power. So I did put in the power switch, which I think you guys saw before, but I couldn't level anything else in this particular area. So let's turn this back on. Actually, I think I want this. I want to put in a high voltage station someplace that's not going to be in our way. So I'm not sure that we shouldn't start actually by putting in the railway. So we're going to want a cargo station, correct? Yes, because we can put boards in there. So the cargo station, I would think, should go. I don't know that I want it level with the road. I don't think that matters as long as I can build a road to it. Like I'm almost better off with it being slightly higher because this track is coming in from above, so to speak. So now do we just put that right there so we have less nodes? Let's see. I think I need to zoom out. Yeah, I mean, I think that seems to be a reasonable place. We're going to need to get a road that these guys can use in and out of here, and we'll see how this works out. Yeah, that's as close as I can get it. Hopefully this doesn't mess up where we would actually put the road. Now, just for the sake of... I want to actually come back a bit because I want to try to get a road out of the back side of this, the side that's away from the main road. Means I probably should push this out a little bit too, just so that the railroad tracks are... We can re-level the roads how we need to, but once they're too close to this, now that we can build the station, let's build it as close to the street as we can get it. I think we have there we go. Good. So we'll have a railroad station there, cargo station, where we can, you know, get our stuff in and out, and that kind of sets up where this would come by, which is good. Plus we have our excavator. I have time paused so that these guys don't run out of fuel and then decide to go all the way down there to get fuel. So that's going to set where that is. And so let's keep going with our tracks, right? Because that'll be sort of setting up where other things are, I think. I don't want that to go up anymore. So what I'm going to do is put this right here so that it tends to lower it down, if anything, or kind of lower it down. There we go. So it was a little bit, because we built this road, it's a little bit awkward right there. Let's just take that back. I should be able to... That's good to turn red or yellow. There we go. Probably something like that. We're going to have to turn... I should turn around and look at where we're going, huh? Yeah, once we get through here, I think we can get... Yeah, so that's building up a little bit more than I might want. So what I'm going to do is let's build this track to like here. And let's use our lowering ability just to kind of make sure it doesn't jump right up at us, so to speak. And this I just sort of want really flush with the ground so that we can get, it's going to be in this neighborhood that we're going to get a road past it. And this is all reasonably flat. Let's just use this guy to get rid of some trees so we can see what we're doing. Yeah, see, I think we're going to be able to get a road somewhere in this neighborhood past there. Nope. All right, let's, I think I'll keep it a little bit more. I don't want to go right in, just for realism's sake. I don't want to go too much up that hill. Yes, we'll just sort of skirt it a little bit. See if we can. Can we do this number? No, I hate when it does that. Why does it do that? We end up, the way to, once you build a road or something, you kind of pin the end. So like now, watch what happens. See, now it won't let that end go way up in the air like that. It seems fairly reasonable, doesn't it? Let's see. What? Stop. All right, so now I think I want to cut this corner a bit. It seems like if we were to come out from here, now the other thing is, I don't know how far we want to do double tracks. Well, I guess we could have a fair amount that was, I didn't necessarily mean to eat into the earth that far. Let's go from here to here, just make it look a little bit nicer. No, let's go with the other one. Somehow I think it'll look better. So in other words, I don't know how much traffic we'll actually have going there, but there we go. So we have a railroad track all the way up to there. Before we commit to that, let's just make sure. Now again, this guy, I'm not even going to build a double track up to this guy because we're just never going to have that many boards. Now this one, too big a descent. So you're not liking, down here he's not liking. I'm going to go a little bit further with that so that I'm sure that a road can get, maybe I'm not so sure of anything. Let's see, where can we get a road across here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, big question. Nice. So that way, well, I don't know where we would build our, I don't know, at least we know we can do this. I don't know if I'm actually going to ever build that road, but I mean, I'm definitely going to build this one because we're going to need trucks to come up here, but I think, yeah, we're probably better off, well, we'll see. Where do we build our sawmill? Up here or over here or closer to town? I don't know that it matters. I think we're going to have a bus stop anyway, but that'll be for, I think, another episode by the time we get everything else I want to done in this episode. But there we go. We have basically laid out a rail stop for getting lumber, and we've connected up to Molna. So there's one thing left. Let's semi-commit to these things so we don't end up deleting them. Good. There we go. So we'll end up with like a town over here and then like a bus station up here to go to the lumber camps, and then we'll just have to decide. I'm thinking of a sawmill. Since we already have to have a bus station, we put the sawmill here. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll figure that out next time. what we have to deal with is this next. There's something I want to do that will be a little bit awkward, but I want to actually take from some point further up than you would think and see if we can't build a dirt road. Because I eventually want to repave this gravel road, and so I kind of want a road all the way down to here at some point so that I don't block all my traffic for like a temporary, you know, we've all been on the highway where we have to get off the highway because it's under construction. Well, this would be our like under construction road, you know. So can I get across there? Well, kind of, but I don't think it's gonna like coming down this hill here. So let's see, can we go? There we go. Maybe that'll, hopefully that's far enough away from that. Yep, there we go. So there's a little temporary thing. I want to keep it, and then let's, well, just come down here, right? And we'll just sort of want to stay out of the way of where we might build railroad. Oop, I think I missed. That's it. I think that's going to be out of the way. So see, when we go to build this, trucks will go around that way, because what we're about to do is a little bit ugly. All right, let's see where we would do this. We're going to come down straight a little bit, and then I think we're going to try to go in between here and here. How's that sound? With the railroad track. Now I want the railroad track to sort of take precedence. Oops, that's definitely the wrong thing to hit. I'm glad I didn't delete my power lines. So if I came like this, and then like that. Yeah. So you don't like this hill right there, do you? I bet you if I... A little bit of a sharp turn there, but I think we got it. It is attached, right? A little hard to see. There we go, far from perfect. And in light of asphalt roads, let's see. I'm assuming we can't just, no. So where can we? Can I do? Let me start a little bit closer now. A little further this way. That seems kind of reasonable in an ugly way. Go back even further. I think that is as gentle as seems reasonable, right? Yeah, I didn't go, make sure I didn't delete too far. I don't know. It's like an X. It's actually kind of, in a way, cool looking. Well, there we go. So they're, you know, and they'll be able to use this dirt road for the interim. Far from perfect, but better than nothing. And then we'll have a road and a railroad track. All right, very good. So the only other thing that I think is, well, two things. Here, let's turn off this ugly wireframe. So we got a railroad track planned from one end to the other. I don't know if, you know, I'm sure it needs more work. I know it needs the possibility of crossing, switching tracks near stations, and certainly needs a lot of rail signaling and stuff like that. But I wanted to take a look at how we were doing with our meat, for one thing. And, you know, we have two trucks sitting here, which is good because that means we're running this thing as much as we can. So I guess we probably should have checked up here first. But how much? No, we don't have any meat in here. Yeah, and see, this is the traffic jam that I was talking about. where we're going to have 4 trucks sitting in here, and even if we had a 5th, as long as they don't block the road too much, then these other guys are coming in here whenever they do get food, meat, and then they just drop it right off here, and these guys can then go on their way. So the next question is, we have one more meat storage up here. Yeah, look at that. So that's a sign that we're at least getting meat up to here. But until this guy fills up, I have a feeling that we're not going to really see meat be a zero purchase, because I think we're going to, this guy here, I think is driving, yeah, going up the menu button, meat storage. You know, so I think he's going to keep draining this guy out, even if the little ones don't. But at least we're far more efficient than we were before. And I think the only other thing to add before the end of the episode is we now have the Revergrad cargo station. So who do we have sitting in here? Yep, we have the meat, one of the meat trucks, and he's just sitting there selling stuff. So now my only concern about this setup is, do we run out of meat out there in the kindergarten? I don't care about meat in the kindergarten. See, like, does this guy use up meat fast enough that this guy will drop it off? And what we might want to do is actually put a smaller truck here, right? Because this guy's going to sit there for a fair amount of time waiting on this truck, like, to get empty before he comes back. So if it was a smaller truck, kind of, quote, just the right size, he might wait a little bit, but he won't wait nearly as long as, because this is a tractor trailer truck. So we'll see. And you know what? I forgot to build my gravel paths. And I wanted to add another gravel path if I can. This is the paths. Yes. Can I go to the... Ooh. There you go. So anybody who's coming down this way could potentially come that way. All right. Yeah, these guys aren't doing anything. So let's get them busy. Whatever ones they can reach for now. Then I'll come back later off camera. And good. So we'll have paths fairly shortly so these guys can more easily get to their shopping center. But you can see where we have food and we have extra clothes, so we're not buying those, and then we have meat. And I'll keep it on purchasing because I really don't want people to become unhappy. All right, there we go, guys. We have a road, or we have a railroad, the whole length. That's pretty monumental. I mean, when this monumental in the sense that when the construction gets done, it's, you know, we're going to be able to import and export fairly large quantities. I mean, I'm sure we'll have a lot of improving to do, like I said, but at the same time, and we're going to theoretically have corn and potentially food coming from here, and behind me we'll have lumber. We have some more industries to become self-sufficient, but we'll have, you know, gravel, prefab panels, steel, though we'll have it more efficient maybe to grab it from over there. We will have, baby clothes and fabric. Not that we would sell the fabric separate. Oh, look at that. We have, I'm sorry if I don't forget and make a mistake. There you go. Commit to the, but that's going to be a lot of work. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to spend in between episodes. I would like to, you know, get things more efficient. Well, get some of this built, get some of it set up. My episodes are, now that we have so much railroad track laid, you know, my episodes are a bit ahead of the actual construction work that these guys are capable of. So I have to spend probably some time, you know, getting these rails built, which means I'm likely to buy another tractor trailer, or I mean another road. Where did I come up with tractor trailer? Railway crane. One more thing. This was at 247. How are we doing? Ooh, 228. So we are going down on steel. Now, part of the reason is because I'm filling this guy up. So when that guy gets done filling a bit, there may not be, and I definitely want some steel here because I know one day we're going to build more in the way of railroad tracks to get into here. So we'll see. I mean, but right now the steel appears to be going down a bit, but I'll keep an eye on that. But otherwise, I'm going to sit here and build a lot of railroads and potentially. Oh, we have a road. Yeah, so I can get these guys to build these stations here, and then of course the next part of the next episode, maybe sooner than I'm thinking right now, because I'm going to want to get this town set up sometime. That'll probably be our next little project. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. It happens to be Easter today, so if you believe in that, happy Easter. I know you're not going to watch this episode. It's going to be two days later, but I hope you had a happy Easter. And have a wonderful spring. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good day.